Welcome back to the Wicksteed Parkcast. I'm Mia.
And I'm Sean.
And today we're celebrating 100 years of our historic Water Chute. So today's the actual day, it's turning 100, and you're going to see it right now behind us. Luckily, the splash didn't quite get us with that, but people have been down here having a lot of fun today, isn't that right,
Yeah,
Sean?
there's been a lot of people. We started very bright and early as well.
Yeah,
we
and
had 100 people ride it this morning.
From 7 a.m. it's been open today, so it's been a long day for the Water Chute, but it's worth it to celebrate.
The 100 years.
Yeah, the 100 years, yeah.
In style, really.
You've got to do a big celebration for a big birthday.
Yeah.
So we've had it seems like we've seen people here all day. We've had long queues all day, so it probably has been hundreds of people all day long keeping it going. It's not had a break, I don't think.
Very busy.
But we've had some great things down here today. So I've had Chuckles Brix's replica of the Water Chute, and you can see that video where we spoke to him maybe a year or two ago about how he made the Water Chute. That's really cool. And then we've had some other people here as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we've had Brightways, we've had a charitable trust stand, kind of informing people more about the charity. There's just been a lot going on, hasn't there?
Yeah, we had the Model Boat Club as
and
well,
the Model
Wicksteed
Boaters,
one.
yeah.
So people have had a chance to have a go on some of their model boats, which is really cool. And that was in a different place to usual. That was in the little lake by Jolly Jockey. So it's quite interesting to see the little boats in there.
And we've also given the cafe a bit of a spruce up, haven't we?
Yeah.
Which is now the Water Chute Cafe.
Yeah, and we've got some great archive images along the outside of the Water Chute throughout the 100 years, so you can kind of come down and have a look at the history yourself when you come grab a cuppa or a sausage roll next time. But today we've spoken to Sam and Ruth, so we wanted to give you guys kind of a behind the scenes of the Water Chute, not just the history but also how it's maintained and a little bit about how it works. So you do get to see some quite interesting things we've probably not shown on any of our pages or channels before.
Must be a behind the scenes, surely, that no one's ever seen before.
You got me there. So we're going to jump straight into it and see what Sam and Ruth had to say about the Water Chute.
I'm now joined by Ruth. Thank you for joining us today, Ruth.
Hello.
And Ruth's going to guide us through a bit of the history about the Water Chute. Take it away.
Fantastic. So I went to a Water Chute that's going to be 100 years old in April. It's an amazing idea of Charles Wicksteed, really coming from his fantastic inventive mind and really from his ideas about play and the fact that if people don't have something interesting and exciting to do, that's he called it legitimate, but if you like, it's safe, it's fair, it's not hurtful to anybody, then they are going to go and find something else to do. So this was really part of his idea that young people do need to have a thrill. We call them thrill rides, so a bit of an adrenaline kick. So he invented the Water Chute, and it's a simple idea really, but it does have a nice big splosh. You don't know, I guess there's a bit of anticipation walking up those steps.
Especially how steep they are.
Yeah, that's right. And then you're in, and then splosh, and you just can't help but laugh, and you're having a really nice fun time. So quite an innovative idea of its day. To give people something like that to do, and we've been digging out. My volunteers have been digging out loads of information about it, and really it is nationally recognised now. So one of the things I've got in here is its listing.
Yeah.
So it is a listed building, and it was listed 10 years ago, and it's really listed because of its historic importance as an early example of that type of ride, but also that today you still pretty much get the same ride.
Yeah.
I mean, in the old days, a man actually winched you back to the top.
Yeah.
It's got electricity now. I think it probably went back to the top quite slowly by the end of the day. But the ride that you get sitting in that sort of wooden ride and then splashing down, that's exactly the same.
Yeah.
So that's how come it could get its listing. So
I've also heard something about bed rails to do with the Water Chute and how it was originally made on bed rails.
Oh right,
Yeah.
bed rails to make the chute part. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, metal bars was, Charles Wicksteed's absolute favourite thing. So, and it was always very inventive. So, like the steps, for example, being the same as the slides, etc. So, a bit of reuse. We're all up for that, aren't we? So.
Definitely.
So lots of other things. I mean, we've even got in here, we've got in our financial records, we've got how much it cost and then how much money we got from tickets and things. So
it's really interesting.
It is. It's really interesting. That's actually he was quite a good businessman. Yeah. Because looking at the figures, in the first year, he really got back about a third of the cost.
Wow.
So that's pretty good return on investment. So,
well, that's
I think 100 years later, we probably got the rest.
Yeah. So. That's one of the reasons why we made the Water Chute 100 pennies for the celebration, is to kind of take a reflection back on how much it would have cost back in the day when he made it.
Yeah, when it was pounds, shillings and pence. So we also found some really fantastic old pictures. Wow. I don't know whether anybody will remember that there was the row of cottages behind the Water Chute, and also a little bit of an appeal really. We've got lots of gaps. We haven't got one for every decade. So if anybody's got any pictures of them on the Water Chute, that would be fantastic. And we've also found some pictures of the other Water Chutes.
Oh.
So in the archive, we've got a wonderful blueprint of the Water Chute boat. When you look at the bottom, it says as sent to Hull. So there's actually one in Hull and one in Scarborough, and they're both listed as well. Okay. So we've kind of got some images here of those as well. Good. So people splashing here and there, splashing down into some water. Yes. In 1956, the BBC came and made a little film of the Water Chute and a little newsreel, and they say, "And you don't even get wet," in their BBC voice. But you do.
Yeah. I've been on it many a time.
You definitely do. So
even the ride-ups down there made me sit in a specific place where I'd get
the
extra wet.
Place. Yeah. Well, I've heard two stories, the front or the back. So where did they make you sit?
Must have been the back, because I think you think it's the front.
You think it's the front.
So I think it makes sense.
The bow wave gets to the back. Yes. So I think that's something else that maybe people could let us know where they think is the splashiest place.
I think we need someone to sit in every spot.
So I've got the original building. I could try and find you the date I may not have the exact date that it changed, but over the years, the only change to the building that we've had is it had a flat roof.
Yeah.
And was later changed to the.
It's more of the same style as the rest of
the it's got that pitched, quite steeply pitched roof that we've got now.
So is this book going to be accessible to the public?
Yes, so we're going to have an exhibition in our exhibition space in the Learning Centre. So this book will be out there, as well as loads of other images on the wall for people to have a look at.
Oh, that's good. So if you do want to take a look at any more information to do with the Water Chute, head on to the Learning Centre. Well, that's been so interesting to find out a bit more history about the Water Chute. Thank you for joining us, Ruth.
Oh, thank you.
I'm here with Sam, the head of operations here at Wicksteed Park, and Sam's going to talk us through some of the maintenance and behind the scenes workings of the Water Chute. Thank you for joining us on the first Wicksteed Parkcast of the year, Sam.
Thank you for having me, it's a great time.
So we know that rides are closed during winter, and this is when essential maintenance happens, kind of like the car's MOT. What goes into maintaining and keeping our Water Chute running year on year?
There's actually a lot of hidden things that happen over the course of the winter. So first of all, we say we're going to put it to bed, so it's really important to us, and it is all natural material, so we need to make sure that that's really well protected. So the first thing we'll do is remove the boat from the chute, and we'll take it and put it under cover. That's really important for several reasons. First of all, it makes sure that it's protected from the elements, and it also gives it that opportunity to dry out, because it's been in the river eyes for the whole summer, and we do need to make sure it's nice and dry before we can do anything else. So that's the first part. And then what we do is we dry it all out, we strip it back, and it gets another complete coat of yacht varnish. So what good is a boat if it doesn't float? Okay, so we need we need to make sure that we've tested that, and it's always a good idea to test that before you've got back in the river.
Yeah, because you don't want to kind of be in the river and then getting a bit wet because the yacht varnish didn't work. And yacht varnish, we treat our Water Chute well. Yacht varnish, very fancy.
We do. There's a lot of love, sweat and tears into that, I tell you. So we build it up very slowly, layer by layer, and it's really important that you make sure the first layer is dry before you start ready on the next coat.
And this might be a question that kind of throws you, but what material is the Water Chute boat made out of? Do you know?
Yes, I do know. So we use a marine wood for it. It's really important to get the right type of wood there, because you don't want it shrinking or expanding in the heat when we're open. That causes us problems if it does do that.
I didn't even think of that. Materials shrink and expand in the heat and the water. So yeah, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, and the other thing as well, which many people don't think of, they remember that it's a boat, and lots of people liken it to being like a skip. but they forget about how it's going to get down into the water. So it actually has these two big axles underneath it. So we take the steel axles off, and then they get taken apart, all the components inside get changed, and then that would get put back on again. That's one of the last things we do just before we're ready to bring it back down again for the start of the season. So you've got all the metal mechanics underneath, and you've got a really thick natural twine rope that attaches to the back of the boat, and that's one of the most important things, because it's the thing that brings you back up the top.
Otherwise you'll stay in the river for quite a while till you decide to swim out.
You will, yeah. So that's mainly about the boat. It does also have covered seats as well, so sometimes we'll reupholster them, and we'll make sure it's really clean. We'll silicone round the edges. Again, that's the sinkability factor. We want to make sure that's zero. It's not going to sink.
No chance at all.
Yeah, definitely. And we've been doing it for 100 years, so I would say, not myself personally, but as a business, Wicksteed have perfected their technique for that.
Had a lot of practice, a lot of years of practice.
We have, yeah. So it is a fun day when you see, if you're lucky enough to be walking around Wicksteed and you see the boat being taken out or put back in. That's a really special occasion for everybody, and it just really reminds you of all those people that have used it throughout that season.
Yeah, so. And I mean throughout the years as well, every season there's so many people that go on, and it must have really added up over the years.
Yeah, well, when I think about it, it's really lovely to hear all the stories where the grandparents have been on it and they bring their children and they bring their children, and you see them. It's one of the first things that people will say about when they come in. They know there's a water chute, they're looking for it, they can't quite remember where it is, but they want to head down here straight away and relive that memory, which is such a lovely thing to have.
I have so many people all the time telling me, I remember going on this, I remember my mum bringing me, and my mum remembers her mum bringing her, and it's really nice. It's a real generational ride.
It is. I think it's nostalgia as well, because it's such a great experience. It is one of the first as well, and I think it's that feel-good factor of it's old-fashioned fun. It's quite simple, but everybody can enjoy it, which is what's so lovely about it.
It's always a good bit of fun. So we've kind of looked at how it's maintained during those closed months, but kind of how does it work? I know it's changed in the years, but it used to work really differently to how it does now, doesn't it?
It did. So when they first put the boat in, there was actually a really large mechanical wheel, and the worker that was working on the boat would have to physically turn that wheel by hand all day. So you can imagine how strong they were. Well, thankfully, engineering has moved on since then, and we're lucky enough now that a lot of it has been automated and the mechanics have been upgraded. So we're actually able to automate that. Which makes a big difference. And a bit later on, what we'll do is have a look at the inner workings in our heritage tower.
Oh, that'll be very, very exciting. So at least everyone doesn't have to have really big arms to work on the water chute anymore.
They don't, no, they just have to have lots of enthusiasm.
Yeah, a big smile.
Yeah.
So you said we could go in and have a look at the underneath, and you can explain kind of what works under here. So should we head on in?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
So for people watching, you're going to be able to see us, but for people that are listening only, I'll do my best to describe where we're about to go.
So I say walking through this door is like stepping back in time. You can hear there's an echo. We're actually underneath the bottom of the 6 metre tower.
Wow.
And you can smell, it smells historic, I'd say. It's got that really unique smell.
Yeah.
Quite damp, quite echoey. And we can just talk you through. So just above our heads, about 6 metres above our heads, we're looking at a lot of timber framing, and that is actually the station above us that holds the boat. If you just look behind it, you've got 2 thick metal bars. Now those are the brake bars that the boat connects back up to, and it also has like a spring action. So when the boat goes off, that pushes the boat to propel it forward to go down the chute.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it is quite interesting in here. We do have several other bits of engineering work in here, which is mainly to do with another automation process for the river and the controlling of the sluice gates.
Wow.
So there's lots going on.
Lots going on in here, wow.
And then just behind us, we've got a really big air cylinder. So that is important because that has the compressed air that builds up to give enough power to push off the boat at the top.
Oh, wow. It's a lot that goes into what people would think is such a simple ride.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I'd never really thought about how it gets up and gets back up.
Yeah.
Or goes down and gets back up. I'm not making any sense, but wow, it's really interesting. It does smell like history, oil and age. That's what it's
definitely
like a workshop.
Really, I like to smell it because it does that nostalgia. Right.
And I guess coming from out of there's probably stuff that has to happen with the river, but we can't control much of the river when it's working. So kind of how do we approach the river when thinking of the operations?
So I think that's what's really unique about Wicksteed's Water Chute. So it has been working for 100 years, but no ride is actually the same because you're in a living system. So the river does rise and fall. We do have to keep very much an eye on the river levels as to whether it's safe to operate the ride. And we also have to look out for flotsam and jetsam coming down the river and debris for it. So a lot of care and attention goes into looking after the shrubbery around it and keeping an eye that river is nice and clear as well. So that is really important.
Yeah, and you kind of do experience that every time you go down, because one time you can get not very wet. So there's been times where I've gone, oh, it doesn't even feel like I've gone into the river, and there's other times where, and Sean behind the camera can confirm as well, you get absolutely soaking. So it is kind of like a bit of a lottery, a bit of a lucky dip of how much splash you're going to get.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it surprising, and no two rides are the same, and you can tell so much what the time of year is. I think the nice thing about Easter is people start to come and look over the bridge to see if they can see the baby fish gathering underneath. We get very inquisitive geese and ducks coming along, and they soon realise when the water chute's back working again and keep themselves a safe distance. And then you've got the beautiful horse chestnut tree next to it, which is just coming into leaf, which is really nice as well. So it gives you almost that hidden surprise for when you first come out. You can't quite see where you're going to end up, which is another really nice thing about the
and then you end up on a ride full of fun.
You do, for sure. Would you like to come and have a look at the side so we can have a look?
I would love to look up the side.
Right,
I'll let you lead the way.
We're going to go up the stairs, the back stairs.
So this is where you'd come down and exit if you were riding.
Normally. And so these stairs are actually the original stairs that were fabricated by Charles Wicksteed's engineering company.
Oh, wow.
And they may look slightly familiar because they often used these stairs on slides in the playground areas as well.
Yeah.
So it's a really safe, strong, sturdy pattern.
And I guess we're just walking on history right now, going up these stairs.
Yeah, well, think how many people have trod those steps before us. Wiki Bear's one of them.
Yeah, we've got some great photos of Wiki Bear up here.
So this is the modern day boat. As you can see, it's had a lot of TLC over the winter. I'm hoping you can notice all that lovely layer of...
Looking very shiny and fresh.
Doesn't it? So, yeah. I'm going to say which is my favourite seat. I'm not sure if I have one. I do like to put the mischievous people in the front because they're more likely to get soaked on the way down.
I have to be honest, I do really like sitting in the front. But I don't think I've ever gotten as wet in the front as... Was it you, Sian, at the back that got really soaked? Yeah. Sian's nodding from behind the camera. She got soaked at the back when we had the theme park awards here. So
let me show you around the back as well. So you can see this is a bit of modern day hazard yellow awareness. So this is actually the brakes that hold the boat in place. And then if you come round the back, what we'll do is carefully step over it, but you can see where the rope tethers to the back of the boat. And then just below it, that is the bit where the compressed air will push that and it will fly it forwards.
Wow.
And then send the boat down the chute.
I've never looked at it in so much detail before. I normally just get on and go down.
Yeah, we've also got just behind us here, just if you step over carefully. Another modern day invention is the safety guard to make sure nobody's got their hands or fingers where they shouldn't be. But you can see the giant wheel that the rope coils up nicely onto there, and the automated control system. So it's really handy actually, because it feeds the rope through nicely so it doesn't get tangled.
That would be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
Absolutely,
How annoying it is getting your shoelaces tangled. Imagine getting a rope that big and that long tangled. It would be a nightmare.
So this is the boat ready, and the view down there, I'm saying that's the view we'll see today. It'll probably be a different view tomorrow, but you can see there's a pigeon looking at us, and a lovely, quite clear water, and a family of ducks coming
swimming in perfect line as well, just across the middle. Oh, I think they noticed we were trying to get them on camera. They've flown away.
They are camera shy. Right, have you got any questions about anything else?
I think I've learned a lot, and I think I'm trying to understand the engineering behind it, but I've not really got an engineer in mind, but I'm sure a lot of people listening or watching at home will understand this a little bit more than me. But it's always really interesting to find out a little bit more about our water chute, how it's cared for, and I guess a little bit more about the history with how it used to operate as well.
Yeah. I think the other thing as well, which I find fascinating, is this is one of the oldest water chutes. It's the oldest existing water chute in mainland UK, and we're actually in the existing the original water chute tower, and it has Collie Weston tiles on the top of the roof. So Collie Weston tiles are a local supplier, and we currently have a restoration project to replace the Collie Weston tiles on it, because this is actually a heritage listed building, which is really, really important for Wicksteed Park. So it's really important that we preserve that and make sure we keep it in such good condition.
Because we want to make it to our 200th birthday, and then 300th, and then 400th, and then just forever, so everyone can enjoy the water chute. But thank you so much for the tour, Sam, and for telling me a little bit more information. I'm going to go back and digest it, and hopefully it sticks in my mind, and I've learned a little bit more about engineering and maintenance today.
Well, you're welcome to come down anytime. Everybody's welcome. The more people that use the water chute, the better.
Yeah, thank you so much again.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much to everybody who's come and supported us today, and everyone that's turned up for the water chute. We're so excited!
We're so excited to be back with the Wicksteed Parkcast for 2026. Make sure you keep an eye out for our next episodes. We've got a packed year coming up, and check out our socials for all updates about what Wicksteed Park's doing over the next year. Once again, thank you so much, everyone. Bye!